Welcome to the doghouse. This is going to be about bullying. And if anybody wants to use this that is against bullying, be more than happy on just this one to rebroadcast it if you'd like. If you're making fun of it, you cannot use it. If you're out there trying to make a point on bullying, you can use this. And I'm just talking about this episode today, 7/12/2025, because it is important, because it's about bullying. The more we get out there about bullying, the better off we are. No, I was not bullied as a child or an adult. Well, we all are to a point, but it's not really what we consider bullying. Most of mine come from a big family. Kids will bully each other in that way. But this isn't about that. And I'm serious. I've never really been bullied. People have disliked me. People have liked me. People blow me off and walk away, and I do the same to some people like that. That's not bullying. Because nobody in this world will like everybody 100%. This is about things bullies do that we blow off and don't realize it at times. And I got looking around because somebody brought up something the other night about bullying. They were going after older people out there bullying and how bad it is. And I got to thinking, well, is that true? Or is it not true? So what I did, I went and started looking around different spots. And my conclusion come that it's really not an age thing in the fact that you'll bully. You'll bully at any age. The old saying that birds of a feather will flock together or some damn thing like that. It's age. You look at 11 to 15-year-olds, which they get, from what I see, get the worst end of things. It's the age. Them people, the same age, is flocking together to bully. When you get older, say 30, 40, 50, 60, them are the exact same people that will bully. It's an age group. I don't know how many people's looked into that and really looked at it. Now, there's always exceptions. But if you're going to be a bully, it's going to be you're bullying somebody closer to your own age and somebody really younger or really older. And a lot of people don't see that. And I didn't until I started looking. Yes, you'll get younger ones bullying older and vice versa. But overall, the age thing is where you get who's bullying who. So it shouldn't happen anywhere to anybody. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it now before I get into a couple of things. Me not being bullied, and I wasn't a person bullying either. I don't 100% understand a person that's been in that position. Nobody should 100% understand that person unless you've been there. And I haven't. And I'm admitting that right now. But I do see it. I've seen it all my life. And it don't take a very smart person to figure out that bullying does exist. And it hurts people. And it really does hurt people. It makes it so sometimes they are no longer with us, them that have been bullied. It makes it that people don't want to be with us is still alive because of bullying. People think it's really, really cute to go out and bully others. They really do. And I don't know why, but they do. outside it's evil. There's several things, I guess, really, you want to get down to it, is why a bully will be a bully. They say, well, it's because it was not raised right, and it wasn't, they were abused and all that. To a point, that might be true, but we're all individuals and we have to figure out what is right and what is wrong. I've seen people from perfect homes that wind up being bullies. So it's a variance. You can't really pinpoint it to one group of people, one age group. It's the individuals, not an age group or money status. Now, yes, some people are out there, and I even see it on here. People go out and bully because they're getting money from it. And they're going out and destroying people because the money has become their God. And it really has. I've seen people saying how good a Christian they are, but they go out and bully. They're using the fact that they're a Christian to bully. Guess what? That's not right. Just because you get money in your pocket, don't make it right. Now you got people out there that just bully because they want to. It has nothing to do with money. Whether there's ego or whatever's involved, they're doing it because they are miserable and want everybody else to be miserable. In my opinion, a bully hates himself. A bully may not even realize he's a bully a lot of times. Sometimes he does, sometimes he don't. But what's happening is these bullies are going out there and they're doing what they're doing, and it don't matter whether you're a male or a female, by the way, is you start to think, oh, I hate myself. I hate myself within. I gotta bring other people down, and maybe I can make myself look a little bit better. When I take people down, it's going to make me look better. And yes, people do that. But a bully hates himself more than anything else. And no, a lot of them just don't recognize it. But they really do. And a way to get a bully going is they tell them God loves them. That will upset them to no means. Even if they're out there saying they're Christian and they're bullying, just keep telling that person that God loves you. He wishes you would come back to him. You don't have to believe in God, but you tell them that, and they will get very upset. And that tells you something right there, too. But a bully wants to take everybody down around him, and he don't care whether it's for money or just be miserable inside and try to take everybody down to his level. Now, he wants you to think he's above you, and they will do that because they'll want people to follow them and do what they want for one reason, is because they need people around them, these bullies, and people will follow them. There is a good bully can get people to follow them. But he or she needs people to throw under the bus if they need to be done. And the people following the bully, they're kind of a bully too, but the people following the bully don't understand it. And the bully's sitting there laughing because the others don't figure it out. Just stop back. Stop, take a minute and think about that. And I know I'm not in here preaching God or nothing else, but if you really believe in God and you're a bully, them two things just don't go along. If you're really a Christian or any other religious belief, or the majority of the religious beliefs, You can't be a bully and believe in God. Well, you still can believe in God, but you're not following what He wants. If you do not believe in God, you still can be a bully. Being a bully has nothing to do with a religious belief, as per se. It can and does at times, but being a bully starts with the individual, not a church, not an excuse, the individual. That individual, yeah, I got a cold. That individual is responsible for his own actions. He cannot blame other people for his actions. Well, he can, but it don't make it right. And it don't make he is right for blaming others. And they do. I mean, we all do it to a point. Not even being a bully. We like blaming things on other people. But we got to get over that. We got to get where we're in good shape with ourselves, our spiritual end. Whether you believe in God, you need to get in touch with yourself. And that would help not being a bully, because when you're really in touch with yourself, being a bully is probably not going to be part of your lifestyle at all. Because when you believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing, you're not miserable. And when you're not miserable, being a bully goes to the wayside. Now, nobody in their lifetime is not a bully. We've all started to go down that road at one time or another. But we see what's wrong and we correct it before it goes anywhere. A bully that hates himself don't care. He may say he's a Christian, or she may say she's a Christian, or some other religious belief. But that means they're trying to justify being a bully by making it of God. And I don't understand that. And if you don't believe in God, you're blaming others for what you're doing. The blame needs to go with the individual bully because he hates himself or she hates himself. But to be a good bully, you do need people to follow you. A good bully is a good snake oil salesman. A good bully cares less your age. A good bully knows how to manipulate people. A good bully knows how to get you to turn on others. And being a bully is more than going out and pushing people around and all that. A good bully can get others to do your dirty work for you. You're still doing the dirty work, but you can get others to follow you. And this is something that happens all the time. Look around you. Look at your neighbors. Look in your schools. Look wherever. This is a true statement. Now, I looked on the deal, and it really looked like, as far as bullying for the kids in, 11 to 15 seems to be a good age that they get bullied. As adults, it's a little different. But bullying goes from all ages. We can't categorize bullying into one age group because it's not. Although as an adult you should learn. And in that way it makes it even worse. That means as an adult you didn't learn. I've seen people say they're anti-bullying and all that, and they get on different sites, and they're the biggest bullies you'll ever see. You can't just say I'm anti-bullying and turn around and do the exact same thing and bully. It's you. If you're not for bullying, it's more than words. If you're really not for bullying, you have to use it more than just words. You have to show it. Words mean nothing at times. Bullying, they mean a lot because it's psychological in that. But if you're going to stand up for it, you have to stand up for it. Against it, I should say. But bullying is going to exist. It's up to you to stand up to it. A bully really does, like I said earlier, hate himself. They have no way out but to hate themselves because of whatever happened to them or just come natural or whatever. So you can get psychologically into what is and is not. Well, that don't cover everything. It's up to the individual. We can make excuses for a bully every day of the week. Doesn't make it right. Using excuses for a bully empowers the bully. In other words, if he's got followers and he needs help, and the other ones are empowering, he or she, it don't matter, empowering this person to be a bully by bullying themselves, the original bully is getting away with what he wants. And on here, a lot of your bullying comes from keyboard warriors because they know they'll never see the other person at all. But guess what? Them feelings are still there. There's people not here because of how bullies act. And that's on the individuals. You can go out there and say, well, it wasn't my fault. You're the one that caused it. Even though that person's still responsible for what he does, you're the one that still caused it. You are responsible. Any way you want to make it out to be, if somebody is no longer here because of bullying and you had something to do with it, you're just as responsible. You have to take in what your actions are and be responsible for your actions. If you're out there being a bully, you need to take them. You won't, but you really need to take your actions into account. A bully really does, like I said earlier, just tell them how much God loves them and that'll they'll turn on you so fast. That is because deep down, they know they are wrong being a bully. In their hearts, they know they're a bully. That's why saying that affects them. Well, if they don't believe in God, it won't. But if they believe in God, it will mess with them bad. Because a bully, his whole life is to see who he can destroy. And we were not put on this earth to destroy others like that. But the psychological games for a bully is more devastating than the bully going and hitting somebody. Psychologically, it's out there when you do that. We all need to learn not to be a bully. Bullying should not be part of our lives at all. Because when we bully, we're hurting others. We're destroying others. If you have a family and somebody is bullying, say, the parents, do you not think that child will have the effects of that bullying? That child will. If you're a child going after her parents, she'll see it or he'll see it. Is that really worth it to you to destroy others for your own self-satisfaction? Is it really worth it? Is it really worth psychologically putting people in a bad spot just because you hate yourself? Is it worth it? You really have to ask yourself that if you're being a bully. Is it worth putting yourself in that situation? Why are you more important than anybody else that you want to take down being a bully? Why does it make you more important? Because they're not like you? Maybe they don't talk like you? Maybe they're weird people, and there are a lot of them out there, no doubt, that you have to cut them down. Does that mean you're cutting them down because you see something in them that is in you? Is that why you do it? Are you going out there a lot of times cutting people down and making their lives miserable because you see them in you? Think about that. Think about, even if you're not a bully, the people around. How many times it's a deflection is what it really is, that this is not happening. Do you think you've seen people that do this? I have. I've seen people go out and try to destroy somebody because they see something in them that's in them that they hate. And that hate within inside you will destroy you. Your hate within inside you, if you're a bully, will destroy you. You may not feel it at the time, but it is there, and that is one of the things that will happen. Trying to destroy yourself is not a good place to go. You don't realize that if you're a bully, but you're still responsible for it. You're responsible for what happens as a bully. Yeah, you might get a few extra dollars in some cases if you're a good bully, and make a few extra dollars, but it don't make it right. And eventually you will pay for it in the end, because that money will not get you a good standing with God if you believe in God. And no, I'm not preaching God, because I have a whole bunch of friends that don't believe in God, but I'm just using that as an example. Bullies really do despise everyone, even them that they say they are their friends. Deep down they despise him because they're using them for their own gain, and these guys just don't realize it. But they're there doing it, and they don't realize it, and it's a shame. But once again, even though they don't realize it, they're still responsible for their actions. Does that mean you go out and sue them? No. Does that mean you go out and point fingers at them? No. They will learn either the easy way or the hard way in the end. But a bully can never be wrong. Everything that bully does is justified in his mind, and they really believe it. or, or I should say, a good part of them, really believe that everything they do is justified, even though they're being this miserable person. Even though they're being miserable inside themselves, they really don't understand it. But at some point they have to, because they are responsible for what they do. You can't deflect it onto somebody else. And a bully is really good at deflection. They really are. But guess what? They still going to be held accountable for what they do, regardless of what they think they're making or how many people they're trying to take down with them to misery. It's not going to work in the end. Being miserable isn't the way to do things. Being miserable is not the way to live your life. Being miserable means you are a bully. You, you as a bully, you can't push your hate on others. Well, you can, but your hate will not leave. Your hate will stay. You can try to deflect your hate and discontent with others. It will still be within you. You cannot get rid of that. I don't care if you think God's going to help you or make an excuse that God will take care of it. You have to take care of it. You cannot deflect your inabilities of being a human being on others as bad. Your bad is there. You cannot, well, you can deflect it to others, but you're still responsible for it because it's you that's miserable trying to make other people miserable. Shame on you. How dare people go out there and bully? They're just a sick individual. You can laugh on here, you can make rude comments. I don't care, because it just shows you that you are a bully. And you're willing to go that extra step to be that bully. You're willing to help other bullies out because you're just as miserable as they are. And the bully don't care for another bully. That's why I'm saying those that get others to follow them, they're just there to throw under the bus if they're needed to. They may say they like you or whatever, but they really don't. You're just a stepping stone for the biggest bully to stay the bully. He don't want competition, or she don't want competition. Be the bully. He or she will take out everybody to be, and I don't mean. I mean mentally, will take a person down. You are there for their purpose and not your purpose. You may think it's your purpose. Maybe some of you get it, maybe some of you won't. But a bully cares less. That head bully is always going to be there because his misery or her misery deep inside them will not leave them alone. They have to destroy others to make themselves feel good, but they don't get it. They're not making themselves feel good. They're destroying themselves for whatever reason it may be, but it's still up to them. So I don't have no sympathy of any kind for a bully. He or she has to correct themselves to move forward in life. The deflecting on others doesn't make the bully move forward. Deflecting to others what the bully is doing, making that bully go backwards, not forwards. It's a shame that a bully has to do this, but it's what a bully does. A bully has to make sure he's number one or she's number one at all times. So all you people following a bully, he cares less or she cares less. You're a stepping stone for them. Don't you get that? Nobody needs to be bullied. It's psychologically bad for the other person. And like I said, a lot of it is deflection. He or she is trying to make others look and feel as miserable and as bad as they are. It doesn't matter, male or female, it doesn't matter. When you're that bully, your misery is you're trying to put on others. And it's a shame. You need to get over it. You need to go forward in life. And going forward in life means not being a bully. Just because you're putting the blame on the other person for your wrongdoings to make them look bad and miserable, it's still you that is bad and miserable and no one else. I don't care if you guys like what I'm saying or not. I'm just speaking the truth from my heart, the way I feel. I've seen so many bullies out there, and like I said, I don't understand it 100% because I wasn't bullied. I really wasn't. But I see it, I understand some of it, but not all of it. In order to understand it all, you need to listen to people that were bullied. Listen to them and why. Don't blow them off. Listen to them. You will learn more by listening to them. And you still may not 100% understand it. And I don't. I've had people come up to me and tell me how miserable things was because they was bullied. But it will still give you a better understanding. You don't have to follow down the path of the bully. You really don't. You don't have to believe in that. You just have to stand up to the bully. He will not like you. He will despise you, or she will despise you. But you need to stand up and don't let him get away with it. Yes, you'll get smart asses that'll think it's really funny, but it's not. And most people know it. So please, people, go out. Please. Them that are bullied, understand them. Learn from them. And that's the biggest thing. Learn what it really is like. And like I said, you'll never 100% learn, because I haven't, but I've listened to them. I listen to bullies too, by the way. And that's where I get in my opinion, they hate themselves. Just from their actions. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I see it. I'm not the good-looking guy, but I still see what's going on. You can criticize me all you want. Go for it. But one thing I'm not is a bully. So, and I'm not going to be a bully. And like I said, not really being bullied, I 100% will never understand it because I didn't live in that person's shoes. But listen to that person that has. Take the time and try to learn. Stop the bullying.